And we're live, and we're back again.
It's annoying. I couldn't find the GIF of troops earlier. I really wanted to put that on the Facebook page back again, but yeah.
You know, last summer, because Arsenal was sort of in turmoil, I was watching, especially last summer, I was watching loads of AFTV, like loads of the because they were getting really pissed off because the transfers are only happening.
Yeah.
This year, because it's all sort of going quite well for you, I just haven't, and like instead,
their viewers must be plummeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I bet everyone's buzzing. In fact, I mean, there seems to be a lot going on in the summer transfer market, just not for Leicester, but all the other teams are making.
Yeah, it is literally. Leicester have got to be one of the only teams that have done nothing. And have you even
sold anyone? The only one now. I think Wolves have done very little, but I think we are literally like the only one who hasn't signed anyone. I think.
Yeah.
There's what we got 3 weeks. 3 weeks to go, until the season starts.
Yeah.
Well,
is it?
Yeah, man. Like, because it starts a week earlier, so I think.
Oh yeah.
6th
of August it starts.
Yeah. So literally 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks this weekend. Yeah, nice.
So yeah, we've only got three shows, and then boom, we'll be in the season.
Enough time to get your team together.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I don't know about you, but I know you've been messing around a bit. I've basically done one draft, and then every time I looked at it, I've been like, that's pretty solid. I've like, I got a couple of question marks.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously there's still some transfers to go. But yeah, it's good to be back for season 2, man. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I think we can. We've got a bit more time to get ourselves organised this time, and
yeah, definitely
get some more people in the league. And get it going.
Yeah, we had what, 10 in the mini league last year. So yeah, if we can get double that.
Yeah, I think easily we'll get double that. What I want to do, and what I set it up today, is I know I talked about it last season, but getting two divisions of head-to-head as well.
Yeah.
So we can have promotion and relegation. And I think the only thing with that one is that I need to be a bit more careful about who we share the link to for the Prem, so that we get, because all the people who were in it last year should stay in the Prem this year.
Yeah.
So I'll send that link out like individually, and then Div 2, we'll just put that out there, and whoever wants to join that. But we need to try and get to 40 basically for that to.
Okay.
3 weeks or 20. But with 3 weeks, I reckon we can do that.
Yeah, get that.
And then obviously the normal league, the link's in the description. I've sent it out to a few people, but yeah, we'll just get as many people on that as possible, basically.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Sam, it says we've got a couple of viewers. I don't know who they are. Give us a heads up.
Yeah, give us a shout. Let us know who you are.
And maybe as well, before the season starts, like the last week, we can maybe do a couple, like as we get closer to the actual season starting. But yeah, cool. Do you want to share your screen? And I don't know where shall we start? Like, do you want to start with? Yeah,
I've got a team up here, but this is by no means a final or anywhere near to final draft. But it's one I was messing around with last night. I think what I might do actually.
What we should probably do is just go through team by team. Paz is here, our first viewer of the season. Good to have you back. It just picked me for third place in the money league last year. So I'm coming back with a vengeance this season, boy. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the other thing, is like, I'm going to go for. I think there's a relatively safe start this season in terms of, like, there's a few players that you can juggle around with, but the high values are going to be, more or less the same. We'll come on to it, but yeah, should we do team? Should we look at like team by team, or like position, or like goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do goalkeepers, midfielders. Yeah, so
yeah, we'll go position by position.
All right, 2 seconds.
Yeah, and you can lead for the first 10 minutes or so. I've got to do a quick piece of work in the background, but that's only going to take 2 secs.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna completely blank my team out and just choose a draft while we're on there and kind of make sense of it by talking through.
Yeah.
Let's get that share.
And yeah, obviously there's the money league as well, which I need to stick 10. If that's a free for all as well, we could try and get some people like in that if anyone wants to enter. Is it still
the money league?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone can enter. So yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
forces.
Yeah. I think we'll keep our 1 free, but then if anyone's interested in sticking a tenner in for that, then
we'll put the we'll sort that out.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So one thing I know, so I've obviously been following the official Twitter account a bit as well, and they've been posting like price rises and price fallers and stuff. And it seems to be that all of the goalkeepers are a bit cheaper this year. They must have, I don't know, they must have.
Yeah, the most expensive used to be 6. I'm pretty sure Edison and Addison, or at least Edison, started last season as 6. But yeah, 5.5 is the most expensive now.
Yeah, I think Allison was 6 too, and I think, even the promoted teams, their starting keepers were all 4.5, whereas now, like I've got Gazzaniga. I see you've got Mendy and Gazzaniga is the same as my two. But Gazzaniga is the starter, right, for Fulham.
He is, but there's talk of them getting Leno from us. So, I mean, Mendy's going to play every week, or it's rare that you have to use your second keeper anyway, isn't it? But it's good if you can pick one that does get some minutes just in case.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I think last time they were in the Prem as well, he wasn't too bad. Like,
he's a giant, isn't he?
Tottenham's reserve.
Yeah, Tottenham. Yeah. When Lloris was injured for a bit, he did quite well. He's a giant, so yeah, he's all right.
But yeah, it's like obviously it might be worth. Well, yeah, we got it by price, but also by team selected by. Yeah, Mendy's by far and away the most selected, isn't he? Which, I mean, Kepa's still there, right? So
yeah, Kepa's still there. Yeah,
I suppose that's the only risk is that whether they're still going to do a bit of random rotation, but a 5 mil, for a keeper that you could basically just keep in your team week in week out is pretty. It's pretty good. And Chelsea as well, obviously, seem to be buying a lot of defenders. They're like, looks like they're going to get Koulibaly.
Yeah.
I've seen who are they linked with? Kimpembe from PSG.
Kinde.
Yeah, and there was another one as well that sounded. Ake. I don't rate him that much, to be honest.
Nah, it's weird because I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans are kicking off today because they got a young centre back called, I think his name's Levi Colville.
Yeah, Leicester. He's 19. Leicester are being linked with him quite heavily.
Yeah, we're being linked with him as well.
Yeah, I mean, we could really do that. That is a signing that I think would be good for us because for sure.
I watched some highlights of him. He does look bloody decent. So
he was at Huddersfield, wasn't he, last year? They got into the playoffs. So I mean, it sounds like they will probably move him on if they're signing all these defenders. So I looked actually. He's not on fantasy, innit? He's not actually.
He's not there.
He's not listed. No. So one to watch.
I mean, let's have a look at team selected by. Yeah, Mendy, Ramsdale's a bit further down than I thought because I did have him to begin with, but I wanted to use my Arsenal players elsewhere. We've got a really nice start. Also, I think something I've noticed to watch out for is that you're either away, home, home, or home, away, away. So some teams have got 3 out of their first 5 are at home, others 3 away, or back-to-back homes. So we've got back-to-back Fulham and Villa there.
Yeah, I think when you look at the actual when you look at the fixtures of like the top teams. Yeah, they all seem to have pretty decent start.
I know.
Like Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, let's just have a look. So Chelsea, absolutely prime. Yeah. You have to read between the lines a little bit because they've got a 3 here for Tottenham, but obviously that's not an easy game. But other than that, you'd say, they're all bottom half teams from last season, really. Liverpool, I think, have got a really good start, other than, they put United down, but
but apart from that, look at that. Their first home fixtures: Palace, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Wolves, Brighton.
Yeah.
Prime.
And City as well.
Yeah, City. Okay, they start West Ham away, which isn't the easiest, but then after that, that's ridiculous.
Bournemouth and Forest, 2 promoted teams at home to 2 promoted teams. I mean, that's just gagging for goals.
And then even Arsenal, I saw a pretty decent start.
Yeah, Palace away first game, which is I'm a bit worried about, but then after that we got a nice run. So I think even United, it's not bad. A bit hit and miss, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's not but still, like their first two, and especially, pretty good. Yeah, so that means that it's not
sure Mendy was.
No, I was just going to say it means that you don't even have to really worry about fixtures for for those first few weeks. It's like you could just pick anyone from any of those top teams, and like I've got Coutinho in my squad. I think Villa as well. Even theirs looks all right. So yeah, it's sort of like you can just go for it without really thinking about who's playing who. Like, one thing to say as well, and most people probably know this already, but you pointed out in it that the it's going to be unlimited free transfers during the World Cup. Do you know how many games we're going to be at by the time it pauses?
Yes, let me just get the rules up. Is it help? Rules.
Like, it must be... would it be on the chits or would it be on the...
Yes. Here we go. The wildcard chip. Okay, so it's changed. This is interesting. I didn't realize this. So the first wildcard will be available from the start of the season until the 12th of November. So usually that's available until...
until like January.
Yeah. But obviously, then after that date, so between the 12th of November and I think probably the 1st of January, you can make unlimited transfers anyway.
It's Boxing Day, the first game.
Boxing Day, yeah. So between the 12th of November and the 26th of December, you get unlimited transfers.
Yeah.
Plus your 2 wild cards either side.
So that's 16 games. We'll be at game week. We'll have had 16 game weeks by the time, so pretty much halfway.
Yeah.
Just give Ryan a shout out. Ryan's with us. Don't know what time it is in Thailand, so I appreciate that.
Right. Good effort.
In the middle of the night for this. So yeah, nice one. So basically you got, and we still get 2 wildcards. Yeah, so you got 1 wildcard just to use in the first 16 game weeks. So I guess
potentially you could use that quite early-ish if things are going a bit tits up and not have to worry. I mean, it is nearly halfway through the season, but I'm guessing you don't really want to use your wild card, for example, in like game week 14, and then only have it for 2 weeks and then get unlimited transfers anyway. So midway point, I think looking at those fixtures, if we just go back, looking at those fixtures, a lot of the teams. So the first I mean, for Chelsea, their game weeks are pretty much golden all the way up. You wouldn't even have to change any Chelsea players possibly for those first. They've got Liverpool at home. Other than that,
yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. There isn't any new chips or anything, is there? I don't think.
It doesn't look like it. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you still got your bench boost, free hit, triple captain, and wildcard.
I mean, they seem to have sort of found the sweet spot with those now. Like before, obviously they messed around a bit with like that all-out attack one, which was pretty shit. But now they've found I don't think those will be changing anytime soon.
Yeah, it's quite handy actually that having those few weeks during the World Cup because big players get injured, or some players who haven't really been playing might come into form. Or some players might not be going to the World Cup at all, in which case they're going to get a nice rest, and you might want to potentially think about getting them in your team as well.
Yeah, I suppose that's going to be the other interesting thing is starting on Boxing Day. It's going to be straight. I suppose it depends how early people teams go out of the World Cup and stuff. But I don't know when the World Cup final is, but I'm guessing for whoever gets to the final and the semis, it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround.
It will be, yeah. I think that's probably the other reason. That's the other thing to point out, actually, is that, again, a lot of you probably know this already, but they're bringing in the 5-sub rule again this season, which is going to play a big part in my thinking for picking my team because obviously the biggest teams, Cities, Liverpools, all those sort of teams, have got huge squads with they can have their B teams will beat most other clubs' A teams. So, you can put players in and maybe not have to worry about your bench so much because if you've got someone and he doesn't start, it's likely he's probably going to come on for 20 in which case there's probably no point spending big money on the bench. Okay, you're only going to get 20 minutes worth of that player, but yeah,
really,
there could be a lot more goals in the last 20 minutes of games where it's a tight game, and then a City can bring on 5 world-class players, absolutely fresh, and just dominate.
Yeah,
so it's not necessarily a disadvantage to have a player that doesn't start all the time.
Nah, so you probably only need one.
What I think one is, yeah,
it's probably what you need. And it does mean on the flip side that you're not going to get as many players complete in 90 minutes. So I wonder whether that's going to affect overall. Is it going to be less points going about? A bit less points going about this season, but also, trying to find players who are actually who are likely to play more 90 minutes. That could make a difference as well.
That's it. Someone I was having a look at a good one to sometimes filter by is minutes played. Someone like Ward-Prowse, he played every minute last season, and obviously he's on all the set pieces. Okay, he's a bit of a bland option. Southampton aren't exactly the greatest, but what you're getting with him, and if that's the route you want to go down, then someone like him is a must.
Yeah. So just going back to the positions. So keepers, I suppose you can sort of take your pick. Now that they're not too expensive, but like I said, when you see the team selected by, I think Mendy is well up there.
Because I think he's dropped 0.5.
Yeah, he's dropped 0.5 as well. Yeah. I have considered Ramsdale because I've got quite good fixtures, but he's 5 as well. And then I suppose all the other thing you could do is just to have, some people there have probably got Sanchez and Raya, 2 4.5s.
Yeah.
I don't know why Forster. I'm not really too sure why Forster's on 11% because they've got Lloris. At least at this moment in time, Gadzaniga is going to be way more likely to play.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That confused me a bit.
Yeah.
But
I think the best of the 5 mil options are Mendy, Ramsdale, and De Gea. De Gea will probably concede more goals than the other 2, but he'll also probably get more bonus points. I think he's been their player of the season 3 or 4 seasons in a row. So that tells you everything about.
I think we were chatting about it a bit, weren't we? But I think United are just such an unknown this season. I think we might have to just wait and see how they're looking the first few weeks because obviously they were so shit last year, but they could be very different, man. They still have, they've got, if they make a couple more good signings, they've got the squad to do quite well, and Ten Hag is probably probably gonna improve them. So
he can't get much worse. So
I know they're signing now that Lisandro Martinez from Ajax.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. They're signing. That's the only thing, though, in it is that they're signing all the Dutch league players now.
Him.
Who do they sign? That the right back or left back that I've never heard of.
That Malatia, and they want. Obviously, they've already got Van der Beek. They want Frankie De Jong, who's obviously ex-Ajax.
Yeah.
They want that Anthony, who's Ajax.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like when you say about if you put Celtic in the Prem, where would they finish? It's they finish in the bottom half.
Yeah,
Ajax would probably finish outside the top 4.
Maybe get into Europa League. Maybe I don't know. I'd probably not.
My suspicion with United is that they're going to be all out attack and pretty fucked at the back because they haven't got any strong partnerships that have been playing together for a number of seasons. I think with a back 4 like Liverpool that they're just set and they know what they're doing. You potentially can have 4 players playing at the back that've never played together before.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. Probably there is some good value United options, but I wouldn't.
They've still got the Ronaldo dilemma. Obviously, it looks like he's trying to force his way out. And I swear that Ronaldo, I reckon all he cares about at this point is his Champions League goals record, and he probably
is. That's all it is.
He wants to keep adding to that. So. I think, to be honest, they'd be better off if they sold him. If they with the massive headache that they've still got, So, I don't know. I don't think I've got any United players in my squad at the moment, but it's.
I've only put again. I only did this team last night when I was pissing around to see how many premium players I could get.
Yeah.
With Fernandez, obviously he wasn't so great last season, but the season before 32 goal involvements, plays out basically every minute. But you just don't know how they're going to line up. Like they might prefer Van de Beek over. They might put Fernandes further back and Van de Beek further up. So yeah, I think United are definitely want to maybe not risk the start unless United fans that are watching a bit of pre-season might have a bit more of an idea.
Obviously they beat fucking Liverpool 4-0 for that tie cup the other day, but it doesn't. Yeah, I mean it doesn't mean anything. I saw Rashford in a press conference today. He was looking pretty stacked. I don't know if that.
I was in that. Yeah,
did you see that? I was feeling I thought, Jesus, he's looking like he's definitely put on a bit of muscle. And he sounded like it's a fresh start for him, and obviously he's dropped in price loads.
Yeah.
And last season he wasn't really featuring, but I think their issue is they still have too many. Don't they still have too many wingers? They got Sancho, Rashford, Martial, and
Lingard.
I think Lingard sounds. I think didn't his contract run out? I think his contract.
Oh, actually, yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'm going to just see how they get on the first few weeks. So then defensive-wise, so obviously in this draft that you've done, and it's interesting to see because, your midfield and strikers are so stacked, but your defense, you've taken, quick question for you. Isn't it the case that defenders are some of the last season were by value, the highest return from value?
Yeah. So realistically, I'll probably be going back to the picking good defenders because if we have a look, if you look by category, defenders total points last season. So you're roughly getting the top are getting like 180 plus for 7 mil.
Yeah.
Then in midfield, like other than Salah and Son, like 180 plus, you're looking at 8 and above. So defenders a better value there, and then forwards are probably shocking in comparison as well. So again, like expensive, like 159 for Ronaldo, 10.5. Trent's getting 50 more points at 3 mil cheaper. So I think with the way the game is now with fullbacks, and a lot of them take set pieces as well. I think the likes of Trent, like how many assists did he get last season? 12. I mean, look at his last 4 seasons. Assists, that's mental.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But then, Robertson's not far behind. He's only 0.5 cheaper.
Yeah.
So if you're for a 0.5, then there's not that much.
Maybe have a look at filtering by team selected by. So I think it's probably the most. It's the most insightful one at this stage. But
I don't agree with this.
We've had this debate. So let's have this debate. So this Perisic debate. So I think a lot of people were surprised that he was a defender, and that's why people have gone to him. And then I obviously looked at the his stats in Serie A last season were pretty decent. He chipped it. He got a few goals and a few assists, and if he got anything like that, he'd be doing all right. But and also I think that his competition is Reguilon. I think it's quite clear that Conte don't really like him. Sessegnon is the other one who was playing all right at the end of last season, but I think if he ends up being a regular starter and it's 5.5, I don't know. I can see why he's so high.
But Inter, does he play a wing back or does he play on the wing, like Son's position, or a mix?
I can't say I know. I think that he was. I guess he was playing wing back, and that's why he's been put down as a defender.
Yeah. Because obviously, say if, for example, Son's injured and he's starting on the wing every week, then 5.5 is an absolute bargain because you're getting the clean sheet points and he's a goal threat. But I'm pretty sure that. Well, I think that Sessegnon will get more. I think he'll get the first chance, and if he don't take it, then Perisic will come in. But I think it's a lot of money to spend on a defender that. Okay, it's it's kind of high risk, high reward, isn't it? If he does start, then he could be off to an absolute flyer. But I just think for that money, James, who's guaranteed starter, 0.5 mil.
Yeah,
that's my
yeah. So I've out of those defenders,
I think at one point I actually had pretty much like apart from Cash and Perisic, I had that back line: Tomiyasu, Trippier, James, Cancelo, and Trent.
I've got Cancelo, Perisic, James, and Tomiyasu. So I got 4. And then Liverpool for the time being, I've gone for Matip just because.
My boy.
Yeah, like last season I didn't have him obviously, and it was a bit of a mistake. But okay, you don't get the assist that Trent and Robertson gets, but you get the clean sheet points, and he was chipping in with a few like goals and assists anyway.
Yeah.
But then again, like Van Dijk is only 0.5 more, and he's obviously more of a guaranteed starter and probably more likely to get goals.
I think they're probably equal threat on the goals and assist fronts, I reckon.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Have they signed any centre backs, Liverpool? I don't
know. No, but they've got Kanate, though, haven't they? Who was playing in all the Champions League games last season. Yeah, so I don't know whether they'll split by competition again or Kanate might get more of a chance in the league.
Yeah,
hard to say.
I mean, Trent at 55.4. Yeah, I mean that is very highly selected.
Yeah, he's just a guaranteed points machine, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the other option is obviously for me because I've got Cancelo. It would be to go for Trent instead, and then try and maybe get another Man City defender like.
Well, that's why I've put Cucurella in because the rumor is that obviously that he's going to City, and then we're trying to get Zinchenko, which I broke this afternoon.
Yeah.
So, whether Cucurella would be a starter or not, I don't know. Like me and you watched him a few times last season, and he's pretty decent. But
yeah,
I never thought he was really up to City's standards. I got to say.
Yeah, the thing is with those players, though, if they're doing well at Brighton, then at City, their defensive responsibilities are going to be less. So
yeah,
but I think I don't know. It's like is it going to be Kyle Walker on the right and Cancelo on the left primarily?
I think so. Yeah, but then I checked because Greg said about Walker, is he the first choice, and I was pretty sure that he is. But I checked his minutes. He played like less than half of the full amount of minutes last season. So I know that he had some like injuries and like controversy and stuff. So
yeah, bit too dodge. Bit.
Yeah, but I mean, if Cucurella was a guaranteed starter in any City defender at 5 mil, he's a starter would be good value, wouldn't he?
And then Tomiyasu at 4.5, I think is a pretty.
I think he's the most selected.
I'm surprised he's not 5. To be honest, like it does seem cheap.
I think it's just because he was injured for the last like 10 weeks. Just saved him going up, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get quite a lot. I think we got the 4th most clean sheets last season. So yeah, 4.5 defender who's going to get roughly half the amount of clean sheets of games.
Yeah,
is decent. And obviously Nico Williams as well has just moved to Forest.
Quite
a big fee, I think.
Yeah, Nico seems like a good shot. I think if you're planning on definitely benching him week in week out and having 4 starters.
Yeah,
and it makes sense to save that 0.5. Like, I don't have any 4 mil defenders at the moment, but maybe because like Tomiyasu, for example, I got him on the bench first game. And at the moment, and it's like I could just save that 0.5, put Nico Williams on the bench, and put it like I could upgrade Mendy to Alisson or whatever.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, or upgrade Cancelo to Trent or something. So I don't know. Yeah, like Tomiyasu is one that I'm still thinking about, but
Trippier quite highly selected as well.
Yeah, well, Trippier he got injured pretty soon after he signed, didn't he? But I think before that he made a really good start, and I assume he's going to take all their set pieces and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And Newcastle were doing quite well defensively even without him. So
yeah,
and is he already? Wasn't he made their like captain like straight away? Is that possible?
He might have been actually. Yeah, I can't think who else would be captain. So yeah, he might well have been.
Yeah. So yeah, potential there.
Yeah, I think you just with the defenders you're looking at. Obviously, you want wing backs, and ideally the ones that take set pieces. Now with Chelsea at the moment, I'm not in this draft, but I probably will have Chilwell because I think Alonso is on his way out and Chilwell would start ahead of him anyway. But I'm pretty sure that Chilwell takes the corners from the left and the ones from the right are split between James and Mount. So potentially you're getting Chilwell on a few more set pieces. There's nothing really to choose between them, is there?
Nah, but I think James obviously had a few big hauls. He sort of fixed himself in my team last season, and also Chilwell. There's still the question mark, just because it was quite a serious injury.
That's true.
Like I'd like to see him actually back playing before I put him in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing, but yeah, I mean, you could have either, really, couldn't you? I think the main, like, who you have in defense is, apart from your draft you've done it, but who you have in defense is, there are a few options, but at the end of the day, everyone's going to have at least one Liverpool, at least one City, at least one Chelsea, and then you got Tottenham and Arsenal probably after that. So even though the players might be different, the teams are probably going to be the same.
They will be, yeah. I think, it's going. A lot of teams are going to be very top 4, top 5 heavy.
Yeah.
Right, should we go on to midfield?
Yeah, let's do it.
There's quite a lot of interesting ones there.
Yeah, so midfield. So Salah 58. So that means that most people have gone Salah and Trent, which you can't really argue with based on last season. But I think we've both got Diaz, and I think the thing is like obviously with Mane moving, last season Mane and Salah there was only like 1 mil difference between them.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like you might as well spend the extra and get Salah in at that point. Although
because he's on pens and stuff.
Yeah. Although in the second half of the season, Mane was probably doing better.
But then Mane switched to like playing through the middle, didn't he? In the second half of the season, and Diaz went out to the left.
Yeah.
But now they brought Darwin in.
Now you've got a 5 mil difference between Diaz and Salah, which obviously Salah you'd still expect Salah to get more points out of the two of them, but 5 mil is a lot.
That's it, yeah. I mean, if I was to have Salah in instead of Diaz, I'd be sacrificing another premium. And to be honest, under 8 mil in this year's fantasy, there's not that many great options. None of them really you think, oh, that's an absolute bargain. They've all got issues, they don't play all the time, they're out of form. Neto is very highly selected. I had him in my team at one point. But Wolves, he's
yeah, there's not many at 5. But if you go to 5.5 or below, I'm not saying do it, but if you did, there's not many. So I get it. And he was injured, wasn't he, for most of last season? But Wolves were pretty shit. And even when he was fit, he didn't really do anything. So I don't.
Yeah, he came back from a big injury, didn't he? So again, you probably want to wait and see how he gets on.
Yeah, and again, like you said, most people probably put him in. They're probably not going to start. I don't know. Maybe they will start him, but I've got Dewsbury Hall, who's 5 mil, and he, he's a central midfielder, not a winger, but he does get involved, and I imagine he's going to be playing, especially if we sell Tielemans, he's going to be playing week in, week out. Yeah. So for me, he's a better option to have as a backup on the bench at 5 mil, and then you've got an extra 0.5 there. I'm just surprised Neto's 22%. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised.
And then all the rest of these players are like Martinelli and Smith Rowe. Either one of those could start. So there's no guarantees there.
No, Smith Rowe started getting a bit moved out. He wasn't playing last season, was he? Towards the end.
Gordon, I guess, is probably. I mean, again, you don't know how Everton are going to get on, but he was a bright spark for them last season. Obviously, Gallagher's back at Chelsea for now.
Yeah, I think I've seen Everton linked with him.
Yeah,
I had a little look the other day because I was wondering, surely he's not going to stay at Chelsea this season. Surely not.
But then again, thinking about it, their central midfield, if you got Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante, I think he has probably room for him to play that our Mount.
I guess it'll be you could have him as a backup for Mount, I guess.
Yeah.
And we were saying, weren't we, in terms of midfield, we were saying last season it'd be interesting to see how many get moved up to striker. and you've got Havertz is a striker now, Jota's a striker. Obviously for Liverpool, that's the other thing. For Liverpool, you've got Diaz and Salah now as midfielders, but up front you've got Firmino, Jota, and Nunes now. So it's like you can't really pick any of those strikers. So it's got to be Diaz or Salah really.
I think Diaz, like if you just like even just watching him, he's just such a good. I think he probably should have scored more last season, but he was like when Salah was off form, they were giving him the ball more than like it was like get the ball to Diaz, he can make something happen. Obviously, he's not going to be on set pieces, but like I said, 8 mil. I just think
it's just going to end up. Yeah, it just seems like an absolute bargain.
Just looking at the 6.5s, you've got. I think these 4 are potentials: Ward-Prowse, Rashford, Odegaard, and so Maximan's moved from striker back to midfield.
Yeah,
but every time I've had him in, he's never done it for me.
Even though he was a striker, that wasn't the problem. The problem was he just wasn't scoring any fucking points as well. Like Rashford, I think if Rashford does get himself back into the team, 6.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Like,
if
he gets back to that standard, then 6.5, he's worth it.
Fucking hell, he scored 17 goals in 1920. That's
a
lot. That is a lot.
Because then if you look at like Ward-Prowse in comparison, like Rashford's miles ahead of him, and that's with Ward-Prowse playing way more minutes as well. So if Rashford does get back to form, then he's a serious threat.
Yeah. So at the moment, I've got Bruno Guimaraes because I think I also saw a stat that Fantasy posted about him, like having like the most shots and the most chances, etc., for Newcastle, like in the second half of last season.
I'm surprised he was so attacking. I thought he was more like not defensive mid, but you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, same. Like a Tielemans type player or something.
Yeah, well.
Same. I do wonder. I am a little bit unsure about him, to be honest, because again, 20% seems a bit high. But
in terms of the premiums, so let's say Fernandes upwards, are you having one of those or 2 of them?
So I've actually only got one at the moment. I've only got Son.
Yeah.
I've only got Son. I am lacking a Man City midfielder, I think. I need to set my team.
Yeah. It's tricky, isn't it? Because Haaland's so expensive. Well, he's still pretty good value in my eyes, but because you're forking out a lot more on a striker this year, then it's harder to get like a De Bruyne in there as well.
Yeah, and then you've still got the other problem with 5 subs, and you know who's going to play. I saw Mahrez is quite highly selected, I think, but you still got like Mahrez, Foden, and like I suppose they've sold Sterling now, so that opens up a space.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at these, if you couldn't afford the premiums, you could technically get like all 5 in the 8 mil bracket, like Bowen, Saka, Mount, Maddison, Diaz, and Mahrez. You wouldn't be doing too badly with those 5, would you? Like. They all start basically every week. They're all young and improving, other than Mahrez. But again, with Sterling gone, he could get more minutes. So
I've always thought with Mahrez, it's just that he doesn't play enough. But if he was playing more regularly, like even last season, he was getting good returns.
Yeah.
And like I genuinely think if he was playing regularly, he'd be right up there. But KDB also at 12. I mean, you'd think. Him and Haaland combination could be ridiculous.
Yeah, I did have a draft with both of them in, and it's likely that I will try and get that somehow. It's just, do you spread the wealth around different teams, or do you just trust that City are just going to smash everyone? And it's just obvious. Like, don't avoid the obvious.
Yeah, like I think, like you said though, if you've got. I suppose now you've got 3. Well, you've got those 3 there: Salah, Son, and De Bruyne. You could switch between.
Yeah,
and then up front, you can switch between Haaland and Kane. So, but getting 2 of them in, I don't know. Like I say, I will come on to my squad in a bit, but mine's quite balanced, and I think it would skew it massively if I was to put 2, De Bruyne in as well as Son.
One I quite like to have a look at when I'm searching is the points per match, because obviously players that joined in January or whatever, if you're looking by total points, they're going to be way down.
True. Yeah, true.
And yeah, Kulusevski and Bowen as well, to be fair. But
I suppose that would be another option is to not have Son and go Kulusevski instead.
That's the thing. You could do that, and then that leaves potentially means you could get KDB, or Salah, or Sterling. What do you reckon about Sterling at Chelsea? Do you think like a fresh start for him? He's still only like 27, I think, 28. So
yeah.
I mean, if you look, I was looking the other day. He has been on a bit of a gradual.
I don't think I've ever had Sterling in my fantasy team ever. I don't think. Like I don't remember ever putting him in.
He's one of those players that like all of us we don't really rate, do we? But there's that odd game where he can just get a hat trick and like he should score way more than he does. He spoons a load of easy chances.
That is true. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, you think he's going to be a regular at Chelsea for sure.
Yeah, there's a chance he could play through the middle as well. I would think with no Lukaku, it could be him or Havertz up front.
True. Yeah, maybe. But then, and we were also talking about Bruno could end up being a good value this year at 10 mil. If he rediscovers his form from 2 seasons ago, you see you got him in this team. But yeah, 10 mil. Like at the start of last season, most people had him in even at 12.
Didn't he score a hat trick in the first?
Yeah, the first game against Leeds. Yeah, he did. I think I had him. But then someone else scored. I think Salah scored a hat trick as well. They both scored a hat trick first game week. So yeah. I don't know. Like I think out of the two at 10 mil, I'd probably go Bruno to start with.
Yeah, I think so. He's especially if Ronaldo goes, he's going to be on penalties again, isn't he? And free kicks.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could be if he comes back to form, definitely.
And then around 7-8, you've got there's quite a lot. I've gone Coutinho at the moment at 7 mil. I think.
Yeah.
Again, surely going to be playing week in week out, and he did have some big points. Some big points last season. So yeah, I've gone Coutinho at the moment, but then like Greg was saying, Sancho at 7.5 could end up being pretty good.
Maddison probably underrated as well.
Yeah,
like 12 goals, 11 assists, like 700 minutes short of the full whack.
Yeah,
and Leicester weren't playing well last season either.
Not really. I mean, that's the only thing that I think there's a big question mark about us this season, at the moment. So, yeah, I don't know. And I think also our opening fixtures aren't the best. So, probably just wait and see on Leicester, I reckon. Yeah. Obviously, Rafinha's moving, so that takes him out of the equation.
A favourite of yours?
I mean, he did sort me out that one game week, but... But yeah, nah.
Then you look further down. It's like all of these are like rotatable and unreliable.
Yeah.
All of them pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm kind of leaning towards like going all out with maybe trying to get like 4 premiums and then just like whatever with the rest. And then
4 could be beasts, to be fair. Like Sterling, Fernandez, and Son could be.
It could be, yeah.
And then you've got Haaland and Jesus up front. It could be a hell of a front 6.
Yeah. Just the defense is like a bit. It's lacking the premiums, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
would probably sacrifice Sterling on that and then boost the defense back up.
And then I do honestly think KDB, not KDB, what am I on about? Fucking KDH, 5 mil. I know you've got Chukwuemeka there.
Yeah.
I think there's talk about him moving in there.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe if he moves to a lower team in the league, he might be good at 4.5. But I think if you can get to Dewsbury Hall at 5, that's a very solid.
Yeah, I think the ones in that category is, Dewsbury Hall. And a lot of people selected that Andreas Pereira that used to play for United. Fulham just signed him, haven't they?
Yeah.
For fairly big money for them, so.
Yeah, but he was pretty whack from what I remember. Yeah. All right then. My main. Well, we'll have a quick look at mine after. Let's go on strikers, and then we'll have a very quick look at mine after.
Yeah. Let us know if anyone's still watching.
Yeah.
what your thoughts are. Paj, like, what are you saying? Are you going big on the Arsenal boys, or you the top tip?
Yeah.
Or you playing your cards close to your chest? You just tune in for the first 10 minutes, get all the lowdown, and then go off and tinker.
That's the standard Paj process, I think. Give it dip in and dip out. But you must be feeling pretty positive about Arsenal's chances this season.
Yeah, I think we still need a couple more, but it is looking a lot more positive in the.
I think the slight worry, I mean, from a Leicester perspective, but from a league perspective, is that I think the top clubs are making some big moves, and like Spurs look like they're going to be greatly improved.
Yeah,
Arsenal, like last season, already like made some good steps forward, and again look like they are. And actually on that one person we haven't talked about, who I'm tempted because that is that Guimaraes price, $6 million for Vieira. Could that not be a bargain? Like,
I honestly, other than YouTube, I've never seen him play, so fuck knows. But yeah, he potentially you don't know. I think this season we maybe play Partey in like a lone 6, and then 2 8s like the same as City. So yeah, you could have Odegaard and Vieira playing in the same team.
That was my main concern, is that it seems like he's going to be competing with Odegaard. But
there's talk that Odegaard's going to be the new club captain as well. So
really,
yeah. So he's probably going to be pretty nailed on, and it is his first season in the Prem, Vieira. So it's probably more likely to begin with anyway. Europa League and cup matches, and
I think that's the thing. I think Guimaraes is going to be an absolute guaranteed Newcastle starter, so that's why I've lent towards him. But Vieira, okay, it's a Portuguese league, but last season 27 matches. 6 goals, 14 assists.
Yeah, that's nuts, isn't it? He's only 21, 22, I think. Yeah.
And my only knowledge of him really is from Footy Manager, but he's pretty rated on there. So yeah, I don't know, want to watch. But yeah, just touching back on that, I think the big teams are kind of pulling away a bit, it seems like. And then you've got, I think Newcastle are obviously making some big moves, and they were already, I think their form after Howe took over, they were like top 4, weren't they, or something?
Yeah.
And when Leicester won the Prem, not saying they're going to fucking win the Prem, but the form from the season before ended up carrying across massively.
Yeah.
So I think just when you have such good vibes around a club, it helps.
They seem to be doing it the right way as well, with like not just going out and randomly buying like a Neymar.
Yeah.
But actually trying to build a team, get the like foundations right first. Then once they've got that, then they'll probably go in for like the big names after that.
Yeah, I think they signed Pope, didn't they? It was another good.
That's a great signing. Yeah,
I know. The thing is, we got Schmeichel, and I think he's got 1 year left, and he's on really high salary, like over $100,000 a week. So we probably need to see him out. But with our record from set pieces, I was looking at Pope, thinking, that would have been really good for us. Like,
yeah, I think on set pieces, Ward-Prowse, they've got Tottenham first week, but then they've got Leicester and Leeds the next 2 weeks. Are like the worst at set pieces. So unless they do some dramatic stuff on the training ground, then yeah, you might be worth keeping an eye on.
Well, we've had 1 friendly so far. We lost behind closed doors 2-1 to Notts County, and both their goals are from fucking corners. So, and I just don't trust Rodgers to sort that out. So yeah.
How are they? You've got so many tall players like Ndidi, Vestergaard. For final.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I mean, okay, here's a question then. Like, obviously, you're not going to be able to see what the combination is between these two, but every draft I've seen so far is Haaland and Jesus, basically. There's no one else getting in there.
Yeah, so moving on to strikers, I think, I don't recall any other season where you've had 2, like, the thing is, we were saying that Haaland was always going to be right up there, and like I think we were probably expecting him to be 12 plus, so 11.5 is quite reasonable. And with those fixtures that they've got, like those those opening fixtures, it's just like I don't really see how you can not have him.
You can have massive FOMO, aren't you, if you've been in
63%. He must be one of the highest. I remember last season, the first game week, I think the highest selected player was Shaw, which is jokes because obviously he was coming back off the back of a good end to the season before and the good Euros for England. But then that ended up being a shocker. So, but I think Haaland, it's a no-brainer. And then Jesus at 8, again, his only competition is in Nketiah.
Yeah.
I just don't see how you can avoid having those two, basically.
I'm surprised Darwin, obviously, these three are dominating anyway, but I haven't seen enough of this guy play, but you don't even know that he's going to start and he's 9 mil. I wouldn't be.
Nah. I think I saw something about Jota maybe having an injury, but no, Firmino's surely going to feature as well. He's quality, so and I think with Darwin, he's young, isn't he? They're going to bring him in slowly for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Haaland, I think they wanted Kane last season. They've been wanting an out-and-out centre forward for a while, and Haaland's he's got. In all likelihood, he's going to hit the ground running. I reckon. He's got the drive from De Bruyne, from Mahrez.
It'd be interesting to see who's on penalties as well, because they do tend to rotate him a bit. But obviously, I think Mahrez took the majority of them last season when he was playing. I mean, KDB, I think he has taken 1 or 2 in his whole career at City, which for me, I just have him on there every time. It's most reliable player. But
yeah. It is surprising.
I see Mitrovic is still people are still keeping faith in Mitrovic finally doing something in the Prem.
Yeah.
I mean, his championship record's insane, but
the thing is, you can see that by Greenwood and Taylor, between them, they're 40% selected. The two. So clearly, everyone's done what we've done, which is Jesus, Haaland, and a 4.5.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little bit. It means that basically the points are going to be in your captain selection, and
definitely,
and also in midfield. Really, that's where the midfield, at least for the first few weeks, that's where the differentials are going to be, and where the points are going to be spread. Everything else is going to be more or less the same.
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument that if you think City's first 10 fixtures are amazing, then you just spend big on free City, so say Cancelo, KDB, and Haaland, and just build the rest of the team around. That's what I've sort of tried to do more this season, is pick my 3 or 4 must-haves, and then just fit everything else around them.
Yeah,
but I will pay a bit more attention to the fixtures come the start of the season.
And it's a big change from last season, because last season there was you could go at Kane or Ronaldo for a high value, but then it was Antonio, Wilson, Tony. So it was a lot more up in the air up front, Watkins. But now it's just Jesus, Haaland, and a 4.5 done, basically.
Yeah.
Literally.
I think the only other one that I've seen who's a bit of a FPL favourite of mine is Calvert-Lewin, but I thought he would go down in price considering he hardly played last season, but he's still 8 mil.
I know.
Obviously, Richarlison's not there, so he's going to be playing, but...
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. He was shit. I mean, he played week in, week out, and he was shit, towards the end.
Yeah.
You
know much about this guy? A lot of people have been banging on about him on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him, but I did see something. Yeah. But Brighton... historically, they don't score many goals, so
I couldn't believe how many Vardy scored last season. Still, 15 goals in 1,800 minutes. That's nuts.
I know.
If he sustained that for a whole season, 30 goals.
Yeah, I think he'll be up there again. Look, he's pretty consistent, man. Those last 5 seasons, 2018, 23, 15, 15.
Yeah,
he is consistent, and he often, at least recently, starts quite well as well. So, but again, Leicester's just a bit too dodge. I think you could go Kane over Haaland to start with, just to Pep does anything stupid, basically. But for me, it's got to be like that, and that's what I'm saying. I think the first few weeks of the season, I can't see I think whereas last season I had such a shit start because I missed out on like Antonio, and I think I didn't have Salah at the start, and there was a few like that. I can't see that being like I can't see that happening this season. I think it's going to take longer to spread the teams out and spread the points out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, these are all just like again, like I think Jimenez only scored like 6 goals last season. It's just like why just get a 4.5 and go big on 2 other strikers, isn't it? Yeah,
for sure. And also, if you put your 4.5 striker last, he's not going to a midfielder or a defender will come on, which is probably better. You're better off anyway with a midfielder or a defender as a reserve than a striker. So yeah. All right, I'll just share my screen quickly. We won't go on too much longer, but we'll just have a quick look because mine's more of a probably more like at least in terms of your latest draft. Mine's more of a balanced team. I've done it by fixtures. Let's do it as squad. So same keepers, Mendy, Gazzaniga, and then defense. Yeah, so all highly selected. I'd imagine Tomiyasu, James, Matip, Cancelo, and Perisic. So I suppose. Going off what you're saying, you could massively downgrade Perisic and then massively upgrade Matip to
because you've got to think those 4, Tomiyasu, James, Matip and Cancelo are going to start 90% of the games.
Yeah.
But then I guess you could say that, you could risk putting Perisic in, and then if he doesn't play, you'd have Tomiyasu coming in off the bench, which is decent.
Yeah, exactly. But he's. I suppose the other thing to consider that we haven't mentioned is like the price rises and price falls.
Yeah.
With Perisic being so highly selected, if he doesn't start game week 1 or whatever, he's going to drop in price like straight away.
Yeah, so you're going to have to transfer him out straight away.
Yeah, which could be a bit dodge.
Yeah, and that's a good point actually, because like you said, you could switch between like Son, KDB, and Salah, for example. If one of them does well and you haven't got them, and the other 2, you would have to do your transfer like straight away so that you don't miss out on that. If your guy goes down 0.1 and the other guy goes up 0.1, then all of a sudden you've got to make 2 transfers to get that player in that you want.
And that's another thing that fucked me over early last season is that my initial team was dropping, and it just made things harder for that. Like,
I think if you're going to spend money on transfers, the first few weeks is. Because the thing as well in the first few weeks is like pretty much everyone that's signed up is going to play the game. So the price rises, you can get like a 0.2 or 3 rise in a week. So you need to be jumping on that bandwagon. Maybe not to the extent that Reedy does, where he changes his whole team based on prices.
Yeah, just on price. Yeah, I mean. So if I wanted to change Matip to Robertson, I need to find a mill, and if I swap Perisic, my 4.5 options, Anderson, Palace. I didn't realize they signed Anderson from Fulham. Is it no from? I don't know. Did they have him already? I can't.
I think he was there on. I don't know if he's on loan. He played there last season. I think he was on loan from Fulham. But they've got that Gahey is the same price. He's their captain now. So if you're going to do anything. I would probably do him, yeah.
I mean, Mings as well, 4.5.
They have got nice first 3 fixtures, yeah.
Yeah. So I could find a mill there and upgrade Matip and then have 4 pretty guaranteed starters.
Yeah.
But I think Trent for me is a step too far. Like trying to find 7.5. I can find that extra mill for Robbo, but going to Trent, that causes more headaches.
It does.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I think Robbo is the play.
Yeah, and then I've got I've gone Coutinho mid. I suppose the difference between my team is my team's a bit more heavily weighted to defense, and then the midfield is a bit weaker. So I've got Son and Diaz. But so we were saying if I downgraded Son to Kudelski, what was that? 4 mil cheap. And then from Coutinho you could go to Bruno or something.
Or Dewsbury Hall to another 8.
To another to like even like a Madders or Sancho or someone.
They're a weird one, Villa. I don't know what to make of him.
No, man. It's just like
I think you've got to have him. Like I left him out for ages, but I thought it's just stupid not having him in there.
He basically is a striker, and he like Kane at this point pretty much plays attacking mid.
Yeah, Kane will get this. Kane will get the goal. Yeah, and his record at home, especially, is like really good, and that's who they've got there. Like all the best fixtures against like early doors. So
yeah. And then I mean, same strike force, Jesus, Haaland, and then I've gone Archer as the 4.5. It doesn't really matter, does it? But but when you go like team selected, but I haven't really got any. There's not really many like big differentials that stand out at the moment. Are there?
No, there's no like huge ones that are like glaringly obvious.
No.
But obviously, there's going to be a lot more transfers between now and
exactly. There's
which can change everything.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll come back next week. We'll have a little. Obviously, it'd be interesting to see how much our teams change between now and the start of the season. I guess it will be very dependent on transfers, and I suppose a bit on, someone might get injured in preseason or whatever. But we'll come back and have a look next week. Anyone who watches this post show, let us know in the comments, who, if we've missed anyone that we should be looking out for, or if you have any particular plan that we haven't discussed, and we'll come to it next week.
And make sure you get us up to 50 subscribers as well, because we're
man. When you said around 47, come on,
let's try and get. Oh, we've got a 47, so we're one up already from yesterday. So if we can get 50 before the start of the season, and then try and get up to 100 maybe by the end of the season, that would be nice.
That would be nice. I think if we set ourselves a few little targets, I think 50 subscribers, we should be able to achieve that before the seain starts. I'd like to get up to 10 live
viewers.
Even
if it means me making like a duplicate account and just
yeah. I'd like to get up to 10 live viewers.
Come on, lads.
We can definitely do that. I think.
Where are you? You said you'd be in tonight. You're not here.
I think the last show before the start of the game week, everybody's got to be on that. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that's got to be I'm hoping that's going to be a big one. And then the other one is, like I say, to fill out the 2 divisions for the head-to-head and maybe get up to 30 in the league as well. So,
that'd be good. Yeah.
So we got just over 3 weeks to get all done. So let's keep.
And if anyone is interested in joining the Money League as well, just drop a comment or message me on whatever, and we'll sort it out.
Good shot. And then the other thing actually as well is also whether we open it up to the odd guest appearance this season as well. I'd be well up for that. So,
definitely.
So if anyone's keen, then just let us know, and maybe either every week or every couple of weeks we can bring someone in and get some fresh eyes on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so mate.
Nice one.
Yeah, we'll come back next week and let's see how it goes.
All right, nice one.
All right, bye.